What is going on, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Smash that like button for me. Today is Monday, January 8th. Everybody has been waiting for this massive week, right? What is this week for all those asking? This week is the news of the ETF, and we're actually seeing Bitcoin pumping to new all-time highs, as we have been talking about these last couple of days. Like, you can't make any of this thing up. Literally almost getting close to that $48,000 range that we've been actually talking about. So congratulations if anybody actually went ahead and traded the market. So let's go ahead and get this started. How's it going, Dad Master? Hope all of you are having a wonderful day today. Thank you. Welcome. Let's go ahead and what were we gonna do? I had something in mind, dude. Oh yeah. There you go. Let's go ahead and share the freaking the live stream right now on Twitter. So let me go ahead and share it to Discord right now and to Twitter. So give me about 1 second. So for all those that are tuning in right now, welcome. How's it going, Goldie Crypto? How's it going, Dad Master Billy? I hope all of you are having a wonderful day today. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night. Let me go ahead and share the live stream right now. Give me 1 second. So there's actually no surprise with this pump. I mean, a lot of you shouldn't be surprised. I was talking about this exactly yesterday. I said it looked like the market was going to pump, and I was expecting Bitcoin to go ahead and break these past areas of resistance. So I'm not too surprised of what's going on in the market, and honestly, neither should you. Probably the only people that should be surprised are probably the people that are brand new to the channel. Then you should be surprised of this kind of move with Bitcoin. But I do continue to see this volatility throughout the week leading into the Bitcoin ETF. So I do believe we could be breaking past 48,200. I think we could actually have some room to go to 54,000 as our target is right here, and as I mentioned, and that's where I think the top might be. I also do want to go ahead and talk about some very critical areas that we're actually reaching, and why looking at 48,200 is actually very important. But before I do go ahead and do that, let me go ahead and share my live stream real quick on Discord. We are now live. Show me some tokens. Show me tokens. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. I wish I had an automated process to do this. It's low-key kind of annoying. But the good thing about this is that it gives us time to have more people in here, right? We are now live. Join us. Awesome possum. So I'm excited to be here. So we got everything up and running. So we should be good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and read some comments to see who's in here already. So I see Dab Master, Billy, Crypto, Happy, thank you. Yeah, smash that like button for me. James, looks like a fat bull trap. I agree with you, bro. Definitely a freaking bull trap. Friend looks good, fam. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at Friend real quick. James Chow says 48,000 top and pull back around $35,000. I agree with you, James. So I completely agree with you. I mean, even looking at the memes right now, the memes are not doing the best. I mean, yeah, we do see some pumps. Like, for example, right now, Friend is up about 28%, which is not too bad. And as I mentioned yesterday, I mentioned to everybody, this token just seems to be always climbing every freaking time, right? And that's actually what we're seeing right now. We continue to see this price action going up. So I do expect Friend and probably a few of these other meme tokens with very strong communities continue to do the same, despite the fact that we might be reaching some sort of top in the market. Solana has been dumping. I haven't looked into Solana, but I completely agree with James, and this is actually something I want to go ahead and share with all of you, why the 48,200, it's a very important area. It is part of the 618 on the Fibonacci retracement. It's actually what I want to go ahead and talk about, but give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and turn on the air conditioner real quick. All right, there you go. Got to be comfortable while we're live streaming, man. You know what I mean? How's the lighting, by the way? Is that a little too bright? I think it's a little better on the lighting. We're going to switch it up too on the lights. Let's see what we could do. Probably do the fade. There you go. That's a lot better. That way, so I can feel like we're partying, we're celebrating for $100,000 Bitcoin, right, chat? I'm messing around. I'm messing around with all of you, but Yeah, Black Ranger, how's it going, my guy? They're gonna wreck retail when ETF drops and Bitcoin hits 50,000. I do think if retail euphoria is big enough, we can pump to 50K. I agree with you too, bro. I do believe I agree with you too on that too. I've been really freaking bearish with Bitcoin. Everybody has been saying the opposite, and top traders that I respect have also been saying the same. And these are actually traders that trade the market every day, right? They scalp trades. They actually trade the freaking market, not freaking long the market when everybody's bullish, right? So a lot of the people that I respect in the space that are actual traders, real traders, have been saying the same thing with me on Bitcoin having a buy the rumor, sell the news. Can Bitcoin go ahead and surpass $48,000 and break past $50,000 and above? 100%. But there's a lot of things right now that are very critical in the market, and a lot of people are getting very excited for $100,000 Bitcoin. That's why the thumbnail of the video is $100,000 Bitcoin, because that's exactly what everybody's thinking, right? I've seen very little few people that are actually quite bearish on the Bitcoin ETF. As I mentioned, the only people that I've seen have some sort of neutral stance, sort of like I am. I'm neutral about this, right? I'm bearish, but overall I'm neutral about it. Regardless of what happens, a pullback is needed, whether it happens at 48,000, 54,000, or 70,000. The only difference is that the longer it takes for us to pull back, the bigger the retracement is going to be, the more people are going to get wrecked, right? So we do have a lot of bullishness in the year of 2024. We have the ETF approval, we have the Bitcoin halving, we also have the US presidential election, which is very important, because that moves the market and what we could be expecting moving forward. More easy money into the market, meaning the stock market will continue to go ahead and go up, and so will cryptocurrencies. But we are reaching all-time highs on both these markets, on the cryptocurrency market and the US 100, which is actually the NASDAQ, right? And that's actually what we've been talking about, that on the NASDAQ as well, it's the tech sector, and the tech sector moves very close to Bitcoin for whatever dumb reason, right? So it still goes back onto, we've been getting all these bearish signs more than bullishness. I guess the only bullish signs that we have been getting have been retail getting excited about Bitcoin ETF. But I do think that maybe as soon as this ETF gets approved, we're going to go ahead and see some sort of correction, and we might see this market dump on retail, right? As usual, it usually always happens. We get into these euphoric levels where, you know, people get super excited, start buying the tops, and then they end up getting left holding up onto the bag, right? But one thing I wanted to go ahead and mention that I came across when I was watching Andy from Bitcoin Sense, and shout out to him, by the way. If you want to go ahead and check out his content, I would definitely highly recommend it. Let me go ahead and share it, because he shouted me out today on my live stream, and I really do appreciate it. But I was watching his live stream today, and I never realized this thing, and he actually pulled the 618 retracement on the Fibonacci retracement on this. This is his channel. I would recommend all of you to go ahead and watch him live. I actually do watch him live most of the time, and I've actually collaborated, I think, once or twice with him, and we will be doing some future collaborations in the space. So definitely a lot of big things coming into this year of 2024. So I will go ahead and share the link to his live stream right here, or his YouTube channel if you want to go ahead and watch it. I would highly recommend it. But he did mention about the 618 retracement on the fib levels on Bitcoin, and if we actually go ahead and line it with the 618, it actually hits our target at around right here. If we go ahead and zoom in very closely, we see the 618 hits around 48,200. So we do have those levels that are hit around this zone right here, right under around $48,000, which has been my price target for these last couple literally weeks of Bitcoin reaching these areas, right? So it just so happens that the 618 it's at the 48,200. So there's a possibility that we will go ahead and get rejected on Bitcoin at the 48,200. Let me go ahead and get rid of the 44, because we've already broken all these areas of resistance. Let me try to keep my chart as clean as possible. But I do see either one of these two scenarios play now, where we go ahead and see Bitcoin pump to $48,200, and then we go ahead and see some sort of, let me change the color. We could go ahead and see a pump from 48,200 and then see a dump all the way down. James says 30, what was it? James says 30 something thousand. James said 35,000. I think 32,000. I think 32,000 would be really nice, but yeah, I do believe it is going to go back to the 30,000s, depending on where our top is, right? So we could either see two scenarios. We either go ahead and touch the 618, get rejected around 48,200, or retail gets super euphoric, as Billy says. They get super excited and they actually pump the market all the way up to around the high 50s. In between the 50s to the 54,000, I do see these two scenarios either playing out. We either get rejected right here instantly at the 48,200, or we go ahead and get retail gets super euphoric about it and they go ahead and slightly pump actually Bitcoin around the zone between 49,000, even as high, I believe 54,000 is very possible. But even if we go ahead and zoom out, looking at the 618, we also see that this has been an area of resistance that has been rejected multiple times. So this is a very important zone that we're in right now, where it has slightly gone up a little bit higher. Even if you see, once we broke that 618 on this around 48,000, we did see a pump leading all the way up to around 52,000 and then coming back down before looking for some sort of area support. So these are just signs that is showing us to the market that it has happened previously. We could go ahead and say this is an area of resistance, and it also broke that area of support multiple times. So if we're actually going back to what we see in the charts right here, it would make sense to say that, you know, the possible bottom, or the top, sorry, might be around 48,200. But as Billy says, and as everybody else is saying, there's a possibility that we could actually go ahead and continue to have a rally to the upside. And the reason why I say that is because also the stock market is showing some bullish momentum. As you see, the stock market is doing freaking good. And I told all of you on Friday and on yesterday actually too, is that typically when we go ahead and see the stock market finish on a green on a Friday leading onto the weekend, it typically means there's going to be a super bullish scenario coming in towards a week, and that typically is followed with a pump, right? Usually when there's a Friday sell-off in the stock market, that typically means there's going to be some bearish news either in the weekend or leading into the new week, right? And we actually see right now Bitcoin at $47,000, so we're actually getting closer to that area of 48,200. So I do believe this hype is going to continue to pump. People are going to get super excited. We will go ahead and see retail get smashed like usual, but none of this should be to your surprise, because we were mentioning how the DXY was also looking to get at some sort of areas of resistance, and this is actually what we were talking about, right? So yes, I'm bearish all the time, but I like to stay neutral, right? Because I understand what's going on with the market. Most people just have hopium of what's going to go to the market. I'll go on with the market. I actually understand what will happen in the market due to the fact that we look at, you know, certain key indicators such as the DXY. We look at how the stock market reacts, and then we take a look at how Bitcoin dominance is doing, right? And that's what gives me an edge on what is going on with the market. Most people just go ahead and just second guess, oh, ETF, market pump, we're going to 100,000, and that's how they base their analysis and their predictions when it comes to certain of these projects pumping, right? I've called multiple projects. I don't want to say I've always called the tops or bottoms, but I was very bullish on Bitcoin when we were at around literally at these zones where people were actually saying the opposite to what I'm saying now. Around this zone right here, on the $20,000 area, I was actually long on altcoins and meme coins around the zone because I understood that Bitcoin was going to make a massive pump to an upside, and I was actually calling for Bitcoin being towards $40,000 to $50,000 3 months ago, right? Well, everybody was making videos about Bitcoin hitting $10,000. As we continue to go up, this is around the area that I began to be bearish, right? Because we never actually saw any sort of retracement with Bitcoin. The most retracements we've ever seen has been like a 10% retracement or a correction that you want to call it, but we haven't had any major corrections like we typically always see with Bitcoin when we do go ahead and see a massive pump to the upside, right? Right here back in 2020, we see that Bitcoin pump from $10,000, and if you go ahead and measure this top from where it topped from, which is around $41,000, you see a retracement of about $34,000, right? And even also right here at this top at 64,000, you see a retracement of 60% before seeing Bitcoin make new all-time highs. If Bitcoin has not had any sort of retracement, people bash on me saying, John, but we've been in a bear market for this many years, this shouldn't mean anything. Not really. If you understand how trading works, there has to be some sort of support around the areas that we're going through, or at least some sort of resistance, in order for us to not dump when we do go ahead and find a strong area of resistance. We don't come falling down like we probably will be once we reach the top, right? This is the reason why Bitcoin fell from 64,000 all the way down to $29,000, 54% with no problem, because there was no actual area of resistance or support being found around these areas. And this is the reason why we see massive market corrections, because when we're not dealing with any resistance, we rip through like nothing. And when we go ahead and fall down and there has never been any establishment on support, we go ahead and fall down like we have been seeing with Solana, right? So this is the only reason why I understand why a lot of these things happen, is due to the fact that we look at key areas. I mean, even with Solana, I did mention yesterday there was a possibility that we will see Solana slightly go up above around this level, around 99. And this could be probably another shorting opportunity. Can't Solana go ahead and retest 104? 100%. If it does go ahead and get rejected, then I would say anywhere between Solana around the 104, 107 could be your entry for a short. So you could go ahead and ride the wave all the way down to around what my price target is, around $60 to $70, right? Can this be the final reversal for Solana? 100%. Everything's possible, right? This is the reason why I don't like to go ahead and stick to just one idea, because news like what we're seeing right now could go ahead and change. But the more you're aware of what's going on with the market, and you understand how, the DXY has influence and the stock market has influence, this is the reason why I was at no surprise yesterday when I made a video that we were going to be expecting a lot of volatility coming this week, because I did see that the DXY it looks like it's slightly kind of struggling around this area of support, right? So there's a possibility the DXY, there's two scenarios, right? We either have the DXY fall back down around the 101, and it finally finds this area of support, meaning Bitcoin continues to pump for the next couple of days. We see a top in the market, let's say coming Wednesday or whenever the ETF gets approved, then we're going to see a reversal on the DXY, breaking past back on the 102, making the whole entire crypto market and the whole entire stock market correct. Or the other case scenario is the DXY just falls, breaks this area of support, and then falls all the way down to our price target of around 99, which would indicate a massive bullish bull run, I guess, if you want to call it, little bull run for the next couple coming days to weeks, where we do go ahead and see a lot of these cryptocurrencies making new all-time highs. And then eventually, once we do see the DXY reach this 99 zone, this is going to be the top of the market. So both ways, the market is going to have to correct. So whether you're in the bullish scenario, the market's going to correct. Whether Bitcoin hits 60,000, 70,000 after this pump happens, the market's going to correct. Whether you want to agree with me or not, it doesn't freaking matter. It doesn't matter what I have to say. What matters is what the market's telling us. The market's telling us that we're due for a correction, regardless whether you're bullish or you're bearish of Bitcoin or the stock market. We need a correction, right? That's the only thing. You can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is just ride the momentum, ride the wave, make money. If you're longing Bitcoin, congratulations. If you're shorting some projects, congratulations as well. If you're making money, congratulations. If you want to go ahead and support the channel with any of these platforms, leverage trading, make sure to go ahead and use my links down below. BingX and MEXC or no KYC. And if you guys don't like the FUD that's going on with MEXC, I would go ahead and recommend checking out Bybit, which is one of the best exchanges from what I've heard. It does require KYC though, so I'm still getting that situation fixed on my end, because it's locked in certain regions, right? So only very few people will be able to use Bybit. But if you're able to use Bybit, I would highly recommend it. They have really good offers that they're giving us, and so does BingX. So I would focus on these two exchanges, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't put all my money on these exchanges with this kind of volatility that we're seeing in this FUD going on around the market, right? So regardless of whether you agree with me or not, there's going to be a correction in the market. I'm sorry to tell you, to some people, they're going to be like, well, that's exciting because I've been waiting to buy the dip. So do expect a lot of volatility coming this week, as obvious as that sounds, obviously. But I would say keep our eyes on the DXY, see how the market reacts, and let's keep our eyes on the US 100. I did talk about the US 100 possibly also having some sort of reversal, which we'll go ahead and talk about in a little bit. But let me go ahead and read some comments in the meantime, and welcome everybody tuning in. So a lot of you are saying definitely a bull trap. I agree with you. Let's see. Billy says, I do think retail euphoria is big enough, we could pump to 50K. I agree. James says the fact that altcoins aren't being as reactive kind of shows how manipulative BTC is right now. 100%, man. And you also have to understand what's going on with Bitcoin right now. It's not only the manipulation, but we're also seeing a lot of shorts getting liquidated. A lot of people, Bitcoin has been actually quite bearish for the last couple of days until literally yesterday. I think actually Bitcoin was quite bearish these last few days until around right here, or until Thursday was when I kind of changed my perspective, right? Around Thursday, that's when we saw this consolidation going on. So that's why I wasn't surprised for this massive move to the upside. I said there was either going to be two scenarios. Bitcoin either dumps all the way down to $32,000, or it has a massive pump to an upside. And I was actually more bullish yesterday, and I've been the biggest bear of Bitcoin, dude. I've been the biggest bear for the past 12 days, even with Solana. I called the top on Solana. I've been quite bearish with this market, right? So I could definitely say that I'm not here to go ahead and tell you this is going to be the freaking way, you know, $100,000 Bitcoin, but I'm here to go ahead and give you my analysis every day to what I believe is going to happen, and then pivot. You know what I mean? If you're not pivoting from your analysis, then you must have like the biggest ego when it comes to trading. You know, you must not be making a lot of money. You might either get wrecked a lot, or you're not being persistent with what you're seeing in the market, right? A trader adopts to his circumstances. They don't go ahead and stay in one side. If you start getting bearish signs, you begin to short the market, or you pivot from that trade, right? But most people like to go ahead and just stay on the trade regardless of what they're seeing in the market. So if you're one of those, then yeah, you're gonna be quite pissed off, because you're like, John, you switch up your opinion every freaking day. But most of you understand that I stay at a neutral zone. Yes, I do have my opinions on certain areas, like the fact that we need a correction. Whether you want to hear it or not, it doesn't matter. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when is it gonna happen. And I'm not here to go ahead and call the top for Bitcoin. It's gonna be either $48,000 or it's gonna be $54,000. All I could go ahead and tell you, it's gonna be until the DXY reverses and until we see the US 100 finally reaches top, which I think the US 100 is still going to be slightly pumped, and retail is going to be left holding the bag there once again, right? So all the signs are showing us right now it is bullish, so I'm not going to go ahead and sit here and tell you otherwise. We were actually quite bullish around these times right here. Around Thursday, I was telling you that it seemed like we were going to have some major upside coming up, and the reason why was because we were staying above our zone, which was around the $43,000 area, right? And that's what I mentioned to a lot of you. I said in order for Bitcoin to be bullish, we would like to go ahead and see the zone be held over $43,000, I think it was, and we were holding that area. And that's the only reason why I kind of changed my stands yesterday. And I also changed my stands due to the fact, or $44,000 it was. The other reason why I also changed my stands was because of the DXY. The DXY in the stock market was giving me signs that there was going to be some bullish momentum, and that's why yesterday I was I said there's a high probability Bitcoin's going to go ahead and pump this week. We have the DXY reversing. We see the stock market finish on a green on a Friday, and we're also seeing the ETF anticipation approval news. Everybody getting hyped up. So you just have to sometimes put one on one together, even though if it doesn't make sense. Obviously, as usual, greed is at 71, and I do expect this thing to go up during this week. Next update will be in about 2 hours. So yeah, a very volatile time in the markets. None of you should be surprised of what's going on. If you have been following this channel for a while, none of you should be shocked. Honestly, you shouldn't be like, oh wow, Bitcoin pumped like crazy levels, you know, especially if you were watching my video yesterday. I talked about Bitcoin making a possible pump to an upside. So everything's looking quite bullish for Bitcoin in my opinion. You know, I guess short term in the next couple days or weeks, I will say there do anticipate some bullishness coming into the market, but be aware and start to be a little bit more critical about what's going on, right? Be a little bit more cautious, because I do believe we will be reaching some top very soon. I don't know where it's at. I think it's going to be $48,000, 200, but I also believe there's a possibility we could reach $54,000. So just be aware of that. RSI is looking pretty good. As I said, this goes back all the way to the 618. And the one thing I also want to go ahead and show you is I believe if you go ahead and do this with the 618 right here too as well, it actually goes back onto where we hit that zone. Is it? Or is it right here? Let's see. I think this might be also the same thing too here with the 618 on these on this market top right here. Yeah, same thing right here with Bitcoin. Back in 2017, as soon as we lost this area, we just dumped. So we could just go back all the way to previous data. People say otherwise. I don't know, dude. It doesn't freaking matter. Regardless, I think the market's bullish overall. 2024, 2025, correction or no correction, Bitcoin's bullish in my opinion, and so is the stock market. So I would go ahead, you know, for everybody that's in profits, you know, obviously not financial advice, but I think probably taking profits would probably be your best thing as the market continues to pump. Once there's a retracement, then you could either go ahead and short the market or continue to go ahead and dollar cost average. A lot of people will go ahead and ask me, should I go ahead and close my position? Should I go ahead and take profits, or should I hold on to my position? Well, the answer to that is just all depends on what you feel comfortable with, right? I don't think no one's ever gone broke taking profits, right? As I mentioned, worst comes to worst. Let's say you take 20-30% of profits, you know, Bitcoin, you know, pumps to 60,000 and then it collapses. Then you can still buy the dip, or you still have money left in the market, right? So no one really knows where the top or bottom is, but I do believe that we are approaching that soon in the next coming days, so be aware of that. And yeah, let's go ahead and read some comments real quick. William David, FSM, Floki, de los pocos tokens, cientima de que más activo, ya soy casi 1,300 holders, 1 trillion. Nice, William. Nice. I'm not sure if you're shilling me a Floki or you're shilling me Safe Moon. Dabmaster says everybody in my timeline is saying the Bitcoin ETF is a bull trap. I disagree. I think trillions of dollars will flow into Bitcoin. Actually, the ETFs are now different from BITO and the other future-based trading. I mean, it could be, bro. It could be. I agree with you. Can it be different? Yeah, let's say it is different, but I mean, still, regardless of whether ETF or no ETF and trillions of dollars or not, the market's still giving us signs of a top coming in. So, you know, whether we had a Bitcoin ETF, the top is still coming. The Bitcoin ETF is only the anticipation of Bitcoin pumping up even higher, meaning retail's more bullish and they're going to pump this up even higher than most of us expect. Maybe, you know, Bitcoin doesn't retrace at $48,000. Maybe it doesn't retrace at $54,000. Maybe it retraces at $80,000 and everybody's caught by surprise. But will the markets, you know, correct? 100%. I mean, everything's written in front of us, showing us that the market's going to correct. So regardless of an ETF or no ETF, the only thing is that the only reason why you know, Bitcoin has been pumping to the levels that we have seen is because of the fact that people are excited over the ETF. But I agree to a disagree, right? I believe that retail is really the one pushing the market right now, and we're seeing it, and it's clear signs, because nowhere on the markets does it show us that we should be bullish. Nowhere besides right now short term. Short term, it shows us that we should be bullish, right? And I just went over it because of the DXY, and I haven't really talked about it, but the US 100 is also doing this thing similarly. And I literally called this thing too as well right here around the zone. I said there's going to be two scenarios. We either go ahead and see the US 100, you know, top right here, break all the way, coming all the way down, which is the reason why I was bearish on Bitcoin, or we could go ahead and see a reversal go up, making new all-time highs. Everybody gets freaking excited and they're bomb, and they start buying into the FANGs, you know, the Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google's, because they're making new all-time highs. As we freaking see, Apple and Netflix are up, and then retail's going to be left caught holding the bag, and then we see a retracement. So the retracement is being shown on the DXY, the DXY reversal showing us, the US 100 showing us a reversal incoming. We're also seeing tops of the market in every zone. The DXY is showing a bottom, the US 100 is showing a top, the Dow Jones is showing a top, Bitcoin is showing a top, Solana was showing a top. You know, we're giving all the signs of the market to show us a top. So that's why I'm saying I agree to disagree, right? can the Bitcoin ETF pump the market higher than expected? I agree. And the reason why, if you also go back to this scenario with the US 100, the reason why there's a possibility the US 100 could go ahead and pump to these higher levels is due to the fact that you have to keep in mind, what is this ETF? Why is this ETF very bullish for? Who is it bullish for? It's bullish for Wall Street. It's not really bullish for freaking Bitcoin. How is it bullish for Bitcoin? It's more bullish for Wall Street. So Wall Street's getting excited. So it would make sense why Wall Street is going to be pumping this week. Why the stock market is going to be making new highs, because of the hype over the ETF, right? You also have to remember, if people are moving pretty much looking at Bitcoin as a tech sector, that's what moves the US 100, right? So it goes back onto a lot of things that are giving us signs that we are reaching some sort of top. I'm not denying that Bitcoin can't hit new all-time highs, but I do believe that we will go ahead and get a retracement. And when is that retracement? I don't know. Maybe it's after the ETF. Worst comes to worst, what could happen is that the ETF gets pushed back and then the market overreacts and Bitcoin corrects more than expected. The other news would be, Bitcoin gets approved, and then we have buy the rumor, sell the news, where Bitcoin just dumps. So regardless of the case, I think both of them are there's a probability that both of them could happen, right? Either or could happen. A pushback or approval is still going to go ahead and cause some sort of market dump. The delay will probably just panic the market, and people are going to overact, and we might go ahead and have the market coming down. James says 32,000 is a traditional target. So yeah, you are right, on the right path, brother. Appreciate it. Pullbacks are going to get eaten up quick. I agree. Pullbacks will be eaten up very quickly, though. That's the only problem. So even though we're calling about these tops and all these bottoms, pullbacks will get eaten up very quickly, and that's just due to the fact that a lot of people are waiting for this. A lot of the traders are patiently waiting, and a lot of the investors with big money are waiting for the Bitcoin ETF news to happen to then long the market, to then make a decision on what you should do. A lot of people are like, hey, John, should I go ahead and start buying now? I wouldn't, bro. I wouldn't be freaking buying anything right now. I would wait, see what happens with the ETF news. If Bitcoin dumps, well then there you go. You could buy now. If Bitcoin pumps, you just wait for it to dump and then you buy. So regardless of the case, I wouldn't be buying now. You should have been buying freaking 3 months ago when I was telling everybody to freaking load up on crypto. Now, I wouldn't suggest it, right? Obviously not financial advice, but if you're okay, probably throwing in $10,000 and seeing half of your portfolio gone and then just buying the dip, then so be it. But I wouldn't recommend anybody buying the tops of the market that we're seeing it now. I don't know why people would do that, but people do. So I wouldn't buy these tops where we're at all. Crypto Queen, how's it going? Hope you're having a good one. Shout out to Natalie, by the way, one of my other favorite YouTubers. Go ahead and check her out. We have her right here, look. She is my favorite. She's really good. She trades a lot of Forex, so if any of you want to go ahead and check her out, you guys could go ahead and show her some love. Natalie. It's Natoshi. I liked your other name, Nat. I like the Natoshi name. I think that was a lot better. There you go. But go ahead and show some love to her. I was watching her live today. But yeah, I agree with you. 69K, super easy tonight. I think it's possible, Ali. I think it's good to be optimistic, right? This is all just an opinion. I'm wrong a lot. It doesn't matter, bro. I mean, that's good. I think we should all have our own opinions of what we believe in the market, right? We're all here for opinions. It doesn't matter. I don't think Bitcoin being at 69,000 or Bitcoin being at $30,000 is going to make a difference in the way that the market is still bullish long term. The only reason why I make these warnings is because most people are going to get wrecked, and that's just the reality of it, right? So if you understand and you're here in the long run, dollar cost averaging, and you don't care whether Bitcoin goes to $70,000 or goes down to $30,000, and you believe in Bitcoin or you believe in any of the tokens that you want to buy, then just buy them. It shouldn't matter what top or bottom we're in, right? I think you should be focusing more on the side of longing this market, because I think longing this market long term is super bullish. I just gave you the indicators as to the reason why. We're seeing you know, a new presidential election entering the U.S., which is going to pump the markets, there's going to be a possibility of more wars, more easy money being inflated. So there's going to be more easy money coming in. So do expect, as the economy gets worse, as I always say, expect the markets to go up higher. And that's what I expect. I don't think that during this presidential election, they're really going to go ahead and let the dollar collapse. And this is the reason why I don't believe in seeing that deleverage from Bitcoin, as a lot of people say, right? Where it's de-hedging itself from the DXY Bitcoin. So I don't think that's going to happen until probably this election happens. But whatever Muppet they choose in office, they're going to go ahead and run it up for a few years, and then they're going to go ahead and do their thing when they issue a digital currency when they finally have the dollar being collapsed, because a lot of these nations are now, you know, not using the dollar. They realize how much of a Ponzi scheme the dollar is and how much people don't actually want to transact with the dollar. And that's the reason why we will see a freaking dollar collapse. So whether you want to agree with me or not on that, it doesn't matter. And whether you don't want to understand how U.S. economy works either, you should, because it does affect the markets overall, especially if you're trading, you know, if you're trading crypto, you should be very aware of how the U.S. markets move, because it has a lot of influence. Unfortunately, it's viewed as a world currency, which I'm sure will soon not be. You know what I mean? And I'm sure a lot of these nations are now finally having enough with the US dollar, bro. They're having enough of it. And this is the reason why we're going into this digital age. If they have this digital age, especially with the BRICS, and I believe I saw an article that they're coming up with their own digital currency in order for them to transact and do world trade without depending on the US dollar and don't have to worry about sanctions or any of that. Dude, the US is so screwed. The US is so freaking screwed. And that's going to go ahead and that's going to go ahead and affect the whole global world. But see, people don't understand this. Most people don't see this. And that's okay. It doesn't matter. As long as you understand it, what I'm telling you, trust me, this is eventually going to happen. Can I tell you when this is going to happen? I don't know. But a dollar collapse will happen, and it's all going to happen when the debt bubble implosion happens first. You know, eventually to the point where people can no longer afford any of their credit card payments or their cars, their freaking home loans. And we're going to go ahead and see this implosion in the debt bubble where all of that suddenly pops. And that's when we're going to go ahead and see the stock market collapsing with the dollar collapsing. And once we see that collapse happen, then that's when Bitcoin is finally going to be a hedge against inflation, in my opinion. Once we see the Bitcoin devalue or de-hedge itself from the traditional stock market, from the traditional US stock market. And this is the reason why they're doing the ETF. They're doing the ETF because they understand that in the back end, this is going on. They understand they're going to have to go ahead and pivot into this new digital currency in order to go ahead and provide that to the people, to go ahead and showcase them, hey guys, this is the only solution we could go ahead and fight against inflation, is by issuing a new digital currency. That's the way they're going to do it. When are they going to do it? I don't know. Maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, maybe in 4 years. I don't know. But I would definitely go ahead and assure you, I don't think it's going to be this year. I don't think it's going to be in the next 2 years. I mean, can it happen sooner? 100%. But this is the reason why we've been having this bear market. We've been getting ready for regulation. We've been getting these ETF approvals. This is the reason why these institutions are very hungry for the ETFs, because they know eventually when the stock market starts to collapse and we see the dollar collapse, where the heck are they going to put their money? Where are they going to put it? They're going to have to put it somewhere. They're going to have to appreciate a lot. I doubt gold's going to appreciate by a lot, right? And it's going to be Bitcoin. It's going to be Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So this is the reason why, yes, the ETF is bullish, I guess, because it's taking us closer to the goal of seeing this global collapse happen sooner than most people think. And then people saying that, we're getting in a recession. We've been in a recession for years. I mean, I don't know what world you've been living in, but you know, a lot of these signs are very, 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 very obvious. I just don't understand how people miss any of these signs. They're literally in front of our faces. I've told you, they say sometimes the truth is hidden in plain sight, and that's where we're at right now. Billy says we also have to get more news on approval or denial by Wednesday. No more delays. I remember very clearly when everybody laughed at Bookly and the BlackRock and a lot of other stuff are coming. 40 Bitcoin to 48,000, 50K engine with trade above $50 soon. Nice. Crypto Boss, how's it going, man? Sershi, take a look. 1 million market cap. Crypto Bander talked about it. Let's go ahead and see that. We got to get a collab coming soon, buddy. Sershi. Is it this one right here? Is this Sershi Shield? Is this it? Simon was waiting on that pop. Nice. Hopefully you caught a trade, man. John Smith, what do you think of KASTA? I think KASTA is going to be very good, man. I know a lot of people are comparing it to the next Bitcoin. I'm not sure if it's like store value, but it's probably more of the infrastructure, right? Like the blockchain itself. So I think KASTA is really, really bullish, bro. I think it's really, really bullish. Hey, Ryan, how's it going, man? Hope you're having a good one, bro. Glad to go ahead and have you here. MMG is up 3%. 251,000 market cap with $41,000 of liquidity. Crypto Boss Andrew says, are you using a face cam or the computer camera? I'm using a camera. So I have a camera that I got from Razer. This is the one I got. I'll show you which one I have. This is the kind of camera that I have. It's not this one. It's something similar to this, but mine doesn't have a ring camera. It's let's see, which one is it? It's this is the camera I have right here. It's really, really freaking good camera, bro. Really good camera. I was gonna get this one. This is a 4K, but I was like, dude, honestly, like, I don't even think I'd be able to stream 4K. And this thing's on sale right now, 120 bucks. Original price is $200. So this is a really freaking good camera in my opinion. I don't know. I like it. I like the lighting. I like everything about it. This is my preferred camera on Razer. I'm sure there's probably better ones, but I don't know. Everything that I use is Razer. Like my computer that I live stream on is a Razer gaming computer. So like I'm like literally a Razer fan. It's like you have like the people that are Apple fanatics. Well, I'm a freaking Razer fanatic. Even though I know Razer kind of has kind of bad products. I'm not gonna lie, they're a little overpriced. But I like Razer a lot. Like I have a laptop, I have a freaking Razer mouse, I have a freaking light up freaking keyboard, I have a freaking mic, like I have everything Razer, right? So like I'm like just a big fan of Razer. So like everything that I get is it's Razer, and plus because I have a Razer computer, it makes it a lot easier just to go ahead and literally install anything, right? Like literally like any of this gets installed very, very quickly. So for me personally, I like using the Razer products. This is just all a preference. I'm sure you could go ahead and use different things. Oh, and I also have a Razer Steam controller. I think this is the one I have. Is this a Razer? I think it is a Razer. Yeah, it is. So this is my soundboard right here. So this is the soundboard I have. I think it's actually this one right here too. Damn, dude, I need a Razer sponsorship, bro. That's what I need if I'm over here shilling everything. But yeah, dude, I have Razer everything, man. It's just all a preference that I prefer. But yeah, I have this thing too as well. So literally everything is Razer equipment that I have on my setup. Simon says, market feels so overbought right now. I agree with you, bro. I completely agree with you. Most people would say the opposite, though. Billy says, can't be an echo chamber. Look at Oli. Got in at 75K. You don't need 4K res. Only need 4K in real life stuff. Yeah, 4K res. I was like, dude, I don't think I'm not gonna need that, dude. Honestly, it's like, yeah, I think quality is very important when it comes to video creation. But like realistically, not a lot of people are gonna be running freaking 4K, bro, because not everybody's like, especially like if people that watch content on your phone, most people are not going to be watching 4K videos, bro. Like I have it automatically on my settings for a lot of these tokens, or sorry, not tokens, on a lot of these YouTube videos to automatically give me the best resolution to what my data is able to provide me around this zone, right? So most people realistically, if you're watching, you know, a live stream or something, or you're doing something, most people are not going to watch it on 4K due to the fact that most people that are probably, you know, they're working or whatever the case is, they're not going to go ahead and watch a freaking 4K video, bro. It's going to waste up so much freaking data. So, and I'm assuming probably rendering a video at 4K will take so much time too. So, for me, I think I'm rendering at like 1080 or something like that. I'm sure I could do a lot better, but I don't think it's necessary in my opinion. Plus, if you do 4K, then YouTube's going to go ahead and bring down the quality anyways, because even my 1080p quality sometimes, or even if I double render it, it doesn't come out to the max because because YouTube then drops it down a little bit in order for them to host it. You know what I mean? Because now they have to go ahead and host your video pretty much, and they're going to go ahead and host it to, you know, whatever settings works best for them. So I don't think you'll ever really get the full-on experience of 4K, at least from YouTube videos. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. Miles says you should buy a Razor coin as well. Maybe you can build some Razor coins. I know Razor does have some coins. Welcome, by the way, Mile. Glad to have you here. Yeah, Razor does have their own digital coin. It's actually quite interesting how a lot of these companies are doing this. So this is the way they're going to slightly pivot us into a digital currency if you live in a country that they haven't used one yet, right? Most countries are pretty much already into this digital age, and they already issued their own CBDC. The only, you know, the country that I know of that's really lacking behind right now is the US. The US is really lacking behind technology and the banking sector, but I think that's all done on purpose, and this is the reason why we're seeing this pivot into this Bitcoin ETF, because I do believe that's where, you know, that's what the US thinks their solution is now, because the US has been way behind a lot of things, right? Technology, AI, they were way behind, you know, electric vehicles. I believe China was the top when it came to that. And now it's crypto digital currencies, right? The US is behind them as well. So it just seems like the US has been lacking a lot these last couple of years in everything, infrastructure, freaking technology. Yeah, everybody thinks the US is the best. I think it's just an American thing, bro, to be honest. No offense to anybody, but I started to realize that, bro. That's the mentality. If you see outside, dude, it's like people look at freaking people from the US as a joke, man. Like straight up. And I never understood why. And then I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It's like when I hear jokes like, yeah, it's an American thing, and I'm like, dude, you're freaking right, man. It just makes sense why we're going into this digital era. I mean, you know what I mean? So I guess Holy F is one of them, 170,000 market cap, 446 holders, 297,000 in volume. Dude, this thing's climbing up, literally climbing freaking up. It's funny, man, because as soon as you shared this thing started pumping to like 100%. Hopefully it's not the stream effect. I just want to say, you know, if you're watching this pre-recorded, just make sure what you're buying into. You know, I get messages sometimes, people telling me, hey, John, you know that one token you were talking about on stream? I'm like, yeah, what about it? He's like, that thing dumped as soon as you got off of live. And I'm like, well, you know, I don't recommend any of these tokens. I don't buy any of these tokens. So just know that any of these tokens that are shilled by the community members, I do not hold or own. I'm not touching meme tokens for a cool minute. I already told you guys all of this. I'm making my pivot into altcoins and just literally deep down technical analysis and fundamentals. I'm done with meme coins. But there's a lot of money to be made on meme coins, right? Just for me personally, I just feel meme coins are just gambles. And I'm kind of done putting my money in things I can't control. At least when you're trading, you know, Bitcoin, or you're trading altcoins, you understand what's going on, because you can look at the DXY and the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq and Bitcoin dominance and understand how your trade could go, right? As opposed to with meme tokens, you don't freaking know, bro. You're gonna have to be relying on the developer you don't even freaking know, you know. So if you like, you know, living life to excitement, you love waking up not knowing if you made $10,000 or you lost all your money, meme tokens is the way to do that, you know, because you could wake up with a lot of freaking money one day, and you could also wake up the next day with all of it being gone. So if you like that kind of excitement, meme tokens are the way to go, right? For me personally, I'm taking a break from meme coins. I'm kind of done. I told myself this month that I'm done with freaking meme tokens. Same thing with alcohol, right? I also told myself I'm done with alcohol. So I'm officially been clean now for about a week. And I've also been clean from touching meme tokens for about a week, right? So far I'm doing pretty well, man. I'm starting off the year pretty well, you know? No meme tokens, no alcohol, bro. I think those are the two best things you could say no to. But I do believe meme coin exposure is definitely something you should have in your portfolios because you can make a lot of money. And as I mentioned, you know, I think Billy just made a lot of money on Your Mom as well. He's made a lot of money on that. Freaking Dabmaster, you know, Glenn, Vernon, like a lot, Tillery, you know, Black Ranger. A lot of you have called a lot of plays, man. I have one of my buddies freaking called Crypto Junkie, dude. This guy has like literally, like they call him the 100x guy because he literally calls 100x literally all the time. He's called freaking Grok, he called Ponky, he called Barney. Like, dude, like these are the recent plays. Like this guy has literally made probably over 100,000 plus, bro, in the last month and a half. So you could make money on meme tokens. Believe me, you just have to know how to make money. And to me, I'm just like, dude, I tried it with the meme tokens and I just don't have the passion for it, man. I just feel like you're literally gambling money away. You're better off playing stake, right? But yeah, that's just for me personally. I will be touching meme tokens though. I do want to say, talking about meme tokens, it's not that I'm completely done with meme tokens. I will touch meme tokens as soon as we have Bitcoin dominance drop though. And this is what we need to go ahead and look for typically when we see Bitcoin dominance drop. This is a very, very important I guess tool, you could call it. I mean, it's a freaking chart, so I guess it's a tool. But this is a tool that I use to go ahead and keep up flow with when we could be expecting meme coin season. And it typically follows around a range, right? Which let me go ahead and read some comments real quick. And I'll go ahead and talk about that right now. Billy says it's worth YouTube, but only, like I said, in real life stuff. Miles says, what coins or tokens do you think have 100x potential? Billy says, I already took out my initial. I'm up 186 still. This one is Millie, not financial advice. That's good. A Tekken, how's it going? Baby Grok, perfect 100x. Yeah, your mom. Smash that like button for me, chat. No, yeah, but 100%. That's the thing. There's a lot of freaking tokens, bro. I would suggest you, if you're looking for the next 100x token, which I'm not gonna give you, by the way, because I don't know. I'm not really dabbling into the meme tokens anymore. But if you do want to go ahead and look for something like that, go ahead and feel free to join my Discord. It's completely free as of now, and I say as of now because it's still being worked on the back end. But right here you have a lot of community members giving chat to one another. Billy, Glenn, Dabmaster, you know, they're giving, you know, meme coin plays here. They mostly like playing a lot with the meme tokens. And then for me, I do Bitcoin TA every morning, right? So I go ahead and pass information here, which it's completely free for now if you join the Discord, right? So I would go ahead and encourage everybody to take advantage of the Discord that's being free until we do get to the point where we will go ahead and start charging. But that's probably like 3 months down the line. It won't be too much. But if you see, I do give daily updates right here. I even mentioned this today. Altcoins crushed as Bitcoin dominance rises, signaling high volatility and an impending major move. Hold on uptight. And I also went ahead and put this on the 4-hourly. I said Bitcoin timeframes daily plus weekly, bullish, low timeframes, neutral, consolidating sideways, squeezing into a pendant. And I showed both bullish and bearish case scenarios. And also with the altcoins right here, I provided a top trending altcoins, and you have a few meme coins like Cockinu, and then we have some L1 tokens as SEI, as we talked about, why I'm very bullish. So I give a lot of this alpha to the people that are in the Discord completely for free. It literally doesn't cost you anything for now. And I also go ahead and provide all this information, right? Because I want to provide you as much value as possible. So not only do you go ahead and get information from me, but you also go ahead and get information from everybody in the community. So I would definitely go ahead and encourage everybody to check it out. It's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. Let me go ahead and share the link for all of you on that. And yeah, it's really cool. This is going to be a really bullish year, chat. Believe me, this is going to be a very bullish year. Can I be bearish sometimes? You know, yeah, 100%, because you have to stay level-headed in this game, right? But I would encourage everybody to join the Discourse completely for free. Giano says this Bitcoin ETF could still help SOL recovering $100, and given the strength, I would come back $125. Let's hope. I agree with you, bro. I think it's possible. See, that's the thing. Everything is possible. I don't like to go ahead and give you one case scenario where I'm close-headed and I want to tell you this is exactly where things are going to go, right? Because it's not always a case. And that's what I want to go ahead and emphasize as well. But you know how I told you that I'm no longer really trading into meme tokens? Well, I will start trading meme tokens again once we get to this, what is called meme coin season. And if you actually go ahead and see this back, I've actually noticed this, right? Back over here in 2021, when Bitcoin fell below the 48% Bitcoin dominance, this is where Shiba Inu was created around July. And we had the Shiba Inu pump leading into October, which is around this zone right here. So a lot of you remember when a lot of these memes were pumping around this time frame right here, from September to December, is where a lot of meme tokens were pumping back in 2021, right? And that's when Bitcoin dominance topped off at around 48%, coming all the way down to 40% is when meme coin season happened. We also had the same thing happen back in June of 2022. Those 2022, and then we just had, I guess you could now call it last year, 2023. So we have 2021, 2022, and we have 2023 where Pepe was actually created, and this is where when Bitcoin dominance was below 48%. So we had a lot of the meme coins. We had Refund, we had Pepe, we had Pepe 2.0. We had a lot of those tokens coming out, right? Eventually the meme coin run kind of died because everybody was expecting Bitcoin dominance to come down for the third time, like we have for the past 2 years, 1, 2, and 3. That's what everybody was expecting. But instead, Bitcoin actually began a pump, right? So during this month right here, around May and April, this is by the time after the month was done, around July towards summer, this is where a lot of the meme coins topped off. That's where we had Pepe 2.0 top off in July. If you remember, the first week of July is where it lasted. So we've had 1, 2, 3 case scenarios, but we haven't actually jumped into meme coin season this year yet. So until we go ahead and see Bitcoin dominance fall back below 47% and we come back down around this range, this is where I'm going to go ahead and be doing a lot of deep diving into meme tokens, because this is where you're going to be able to literally throw your money pretty much into probably any token and literally see a 10x, right? And I think it's probably going to be a bigger meme coin season that we've ever seen, due to the fact that now we have the ETF approval, which will be bringing in more money. So with that being said, I'm not going to be freaking buying no meme tokens right now for the next couple months until I see Bitcoin dominance fall down to 47%. I ideally think it's going to be following around April is when we're probably going to go ahead and see that. As I mentioned, just look at 48 to 47% Bitcoin dominance, and that's going to be an indicator that I believe is going to be an indicator for you to see that there's going to be more risk on going onto meme tokens, because typically it moves from Bitcoin money, and then it moves from altcoin. So it goes from stock market, Bitcoin, altcoins, and then it goes to meme tokens, which is usually the final arrow, right? Which is like all fully DeFi. So you want to go ahead and start positioning yourself for these levels. So for me, moving forward, my strategy right now is I'm probably just going to go ahead and stack up on cash, have a little money on these tokens, not too much. I'm probably just going to go ahead and stick to dollar cost averaging, and probably load up on some of these DeFi tokens that I've been talking about, and then just wait for this Bitcoin correction to happen to see if there's one last final altcoin dump, and then start loading up on that, right? But I wouldn't, for me personally, I'm just not buying. I'm not buying this top, dude. Like, I'm not buying. If you're trading this market, then just ride the wave. Ride the wave to wherever Bitcoin takes you. Same thing with the altcoins. But this is the reason why we're seeing a shift from altcoins moving back into Bitcoin. And talking about Solana, I know you mentioned about Solana. What was it? Who was it that mentioned? Simon mentioned about Solana. If you're still here, bro, I completely agree with you with Solana. I think there's a possibility that this thing could still go ahead and come back and reverse. But we also are right now at a pretty good area of support so far. So as long as we continue to hold and stay above it, I think we should be good. There's a possibility that, you know, Solana does go ahead and retest these levels back at the 104 with the anticipation of the ETF pumping the market back up, and then seeing a correction right here and coming back down, retesting all the way down to my target area, which is around $50 to $60 Solana, right? So I think around $69 to $70 is my ideal price target for Solana, but you also need to be aware of the RSI also getting close to crossing that. So there could also be a case scenario where Solana literally breaks past 110, touching 147. Everybody's like, oh, John, you were freaking wrong, bro. I told you Solana was gonna moon, and everybody's gonna be super excited, and it's gonna probably slightly pump a little bit, maybe 160. And then everybody's going to be bashing on my videos because they're like, oh, bro, remember you were so bearish on Solana? Ha, 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 ha. And everybody's going to be laughing. And then by the time everybody's laughing, this thing's going to go ahead and come correcting because the whole market's going to correct. And yeah, that's what I think could also happen. So I wouldn't be surprised if Solana does do that. But I'll just go ahead and keep my eyes on those areas that I just mentioned. I would say your key area would be around the 1.5, 1.7. Around this zone. I would like to go to see Solana break above it, hold, and then break past 110. And if it breaks past 110, that's going to be giving me a bullish scenario that you know, it might be worth longing this all the way up to 147. It just depends on what you feel comfortable with, right? This is on the daily at least that's giving me those entry points. But yeah, if Solana continues to get rejected right here, this thing's going to go ahead and dump. Because I did also say on yesterday's video, or 2 days ago, I called it back on, what was it? This short goes all the way back to Sunday. No. I think Saturday or Sunday I mentioned. I said there's a possibility if we do go ahead and see a reversal, we pump back up, retesting these areas and then seeing a rejection. I think it was yesterday probably. I think it was yesterday's video that I said. I said there was a possibility that Solana comes back up. Yeah, there you go. It was yesterday, dude. I can't believe I forgot that so quick. So yeah, yesterday I talked about this. Yesterday I said I made the video of Solana dropping down to $69, and I did mention that I would have not be going short right here. You know, you wanted to be going short on Solana around these areas back over here when I was calling you to go short on Solana, and going short right here on Solana was probably going to be the dumbest thing because this thing was going to reverse back up, touching around the zone of 101, and then this, in my opinion, if it doesn't pick up past this area and hold its area of support, if it can go ahead and hold the 101, then yeah, you should go ahead and be bearish on Solana. That's what my TA was, if I could remember correctly. Rob, Fred on Sol has easy 100x. I agree with you. I think that's a very possibility. I think friend will go ahead and do something like that. This thing has just been climbing up, man. It's been going up every day. Anyways, chat, I hope all of you had a wonderful day today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bitcoin dominance, or the fear and greed, does update in about an hour. I hope all of you have a wonderful day today. As always, make sure to go ahead and support the channel by using my links down below. BingX, no KYC, and the same thing with MEXC as well. These are the two preferred platforms that required no KYC. And if you want to go ahead and trade a more, I guess, reputable exchange, if you want to call it, because, you know, there's been a lot of FUD with MEXC, I would recommend you to go ahead and check out Bybit. The only problem with Bybit is that probably not a lot of you will be able to trade using Bybit, and that's just due to the fact of the KYC and all the information they require. But for the no KYC platforms, I would recommend everybody to check out BingX. Show them some more love. This is going to be one of the platforms that I will be trading a lot more moving forward, right? I'm kind of stepping away from MEXC. MEXC is a platform that I'm still using, but because of the news that we've been seeing, I'm going to slowly step away from MEXC. I have reached out to my account manager to go ahead and resolve all those concerns, and depending on how they go ahead and resolve that, then I'll consider, you know, to continue to, I guess, shill MEXC. But I would say BingX, man, go ahead and show some love to them. But either way, you shouldn't trust any of these exchanges. to be quite honest, right? To be quite honest, you probably shouldn't be putting all your trust in all these exchanges anyway. So yeah, dude. But yeah, that's pretty much it, chat. I think I shielded you enough, right? Is there anything else I can sell you? Maybe some freaking snake oil. I could probably go ahead and sell you some snake oil too, right? No, so we have nothing else to sell any of you anymore. So, oh yeah, you can go ahead and join my Twitter if you want. You know, join me on Twitter, ALTCOIN John. Feel free to DM me. I would say ideally, I'll leave you with this. Keep your eyes on the DXY. Keep your eyes out on the DXY. That's what you should only be looking at. Forget the freaking Bitcoin ETF, bro. Look at the freaking DXY. Keep your eyes on the DXY. Keep your eyes on the freaking US 100, which I talked about, which could be a possibility that we will see this thing continue to freaking pump. I mean, we're seeing this freaking pump right now, man. Oh my God, you can't make this thing up. I almost feel like a freaking a magician right now, freaking predicting the future, right? But anyways, do expect probably more volatility coming this week. Keep your eyes on the DXY US 100, and I'll go ahead and leave you with that. And if you are looking to go ahead and load up on projects, I would suggest all of you to go ahead and buy up the dips on anything DeFi related. I think gaming and DeFi are going to be the next big thing. It's all about catching on to trends early, but I feel a little bit more bullish on anything DeFi. So for example, 1inch, Uniswap, what else? 1inch, Uniswap, Pancake Swap, which would be Cake, I believe. You also have, so any freaking exchange, pretty much any decentralized exchange, bullish. Any tool that is in the DeFi sector, like farm, for example, like that's like yield farming or any of that, bullish. So anything on the DeFi sector I would be looking at. While everybody's so excited about the ETF, Bitcoin's going to 100,000, and everybody's freaking buying the tops, I would be putting my freaking focus on the DeFi sector, bro. That's what I would be putting my focus on. Like, forget Solana, bro, forget Bitcoin. Focus on things that people are not looking at. Look at freaking harvest, right? Farm. This is a yield farming or staking protocol, right? It's all-time high. If you actually go ahead and go back all over here, it was as high as $600, right? That's what it shows right here, $600 in other charts. So I would definitely go ahead and check out this platform. This platform right here, I would probably consider also, as soon as we go ahead and see this market do its thing, to start staking onto a lot of these platforms, because they do offer some freaking crazy returns, bro. Look at these returns right here. You even see USDC right here with a 63% return. So there is some tokens right here that do give you some crazy returns, like this one right here, 684. And this is not only just a platform that you could actually go ahead and use to get crazy returns, but you could also go ahead and buy this token because it's only 45 bucks right now. When Black Ranger was calling it, it was around $20. So this is what I would be focusing on. I would be focusing on these chains right here. You see the different kind of farms they had. Yield farming is the thing to do once the money starts flowing into DeFi, right? But yeah, we'll go ahead and leave you with that anyways. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Good morning, good afternoon, good night.